What's going on? Code Nasty here in the 702. Today we're taking a look at Apex Legends. We are actually halfway through Season 8. Apex Legends is a Battle Royale first-person shooter. Battle Royale meaning everybody starts with no gear. You jump into this giant map and you scramble for gear, and then it's survival mode after that. Last team standing wins. Just going to briefly show you guys a little bit about the main menu here. Firstly, going down here, we have different game modes, right? So you have your training option, which I suggest, even if you are a veteran player for first-person shooters or even Battle Royale games, there's a lot of distinctive features in Apex that makes it kind of unique. So this will explain a lot of those for you. You have your firing range, which is a great place to test out different weapons. There's a multitude of weapons in this game, and everybody has a different play style, so it's a great place to get your hands dirty. And then you have different play modes here as well. Trios has 3 people per squad. Duos has 2 people per squad. A lot of times there's special events that they play with unique play modes. These will be posted here. And then you have your ranked leagues, right? We'll talk about crafting a little bit later, but these are your weekly rotations and these are daily. So these will change every single day. You have to craft these. They won't drop in the field. These will change every week, right? Going to show you the legends. There's a multitude of different legends here. Pretty much every season they come out with a new legend as well. I'm gonna have a separate video kind of talking about each one and showcasing them, but I wanted to point out each legend has essentially 3 abilities. You have a passive, you have a tactical, and you have an ultimate. Again, so these are all unique, and we'll talk about class composition as well as you know, which ones you want on your squad. Some are more effective than others, some are more team oriented, some are more just if you want to run around and get kills, right? Yep, so we're going to jump into the firing range. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the armor, and then we're going to talk about a couple of different aspects, in my opinion, that makes this game unique. Okay, so we're in the firing range. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the armor you can find in this game. As you can see, there's plenty of weapons to go over. I'm going to have a separate video about that. There's a lot of content to cover. However, talking briefly about the armor, in the original version of the game, you basically start with a body shield. This absorbs 50 damage in the basic version, right? So the gray. As you get a more rare version, the blue is going to absorb more than the purple, and then eventually you get to the golden shield. They also introduced something called an Evo Shield, right? The way this one works, it actually evolves as you deal damage in the game. So if you see at the bottom left, it says the next Evo is at 150. Once I do 150 damage, you see it has evolved into a blue shield now, right? And then furthermore, as you do evolve into a purple, and then eventually you can evolve it all the way up into a red Evo Shield. Now with the red shield, you're going to actually have 5 bars of shield coverage, right, rather than the 4 that the purple provides. However, once you get into the golden armor, you'll see this actually only has 4 bars of protection. However, it gives you the benefit of syringes or shield cells have an improved effect, right? So instead of a syringe which only gives 25 health, it's going to double. It's going to give you 50 health, which is 2 bars. Same with the shield cell, right? So instead of 25, it gives you 50, which is 2 bars of shield. You'll notice that the other gear is very similar in the rarity. However, these do not evolve like the Evo armor does. But the rare helmet, again, you know, it gives you reduced tactical and ultimate recharge time. Your backpack gives you, when you revive squad mates, you get bonus health and shields. And then you have the knockdown shield where you can self-resurrect once and your ability is consumed upon use. So all these things are going to drop in the field. Obviously the gold ones being very rare, but I wanted to point out the way that Evo shields work. And again, the red and the gold are 2 different versions. The red gives you a little bit of extra shield, and then the gold gives you the bonus of healing up a lot quicker when you use those things. And we're starting with the ping system. By clicking R1, you can relay information to your squad mates. I wanted to leave the volume on this clip so you can hear that your character makes an audible announcement to your teammates. There's multiple things on the field that you can ping, just letting your teammates know what you see on the battlefield. Obviously, the more communication, the more organized you are, the more likely you are to be successful. There's a radio menu you can pull up as well by holding R1. And again, you can ping different pieces of equipment you find on the battlefield. Maybe a teammate needs it, they can ping it as well, and it'll lock it onto their screen. You can ping it directly out of kill boxes as well.
Evo Shield here, level 5. Phoenix, shield battery here. Extended mag here.
And if you see something you need in your kit, you just ping the empty spot and it'll send it out to your teammates so they know what you're looking for.
Dibs.
Traversing the field. There's actually many ways to move across the battlefield very quickly in this game. First one being jump towers. It's a zip line that throws you straight into the air and lets you propel yourself to another location. A lot of times you can actually link multiple jump towers together, and it's a very fast way to cover a lot of distance. And throughout the battlefield you'll find many zip lines. Some are vertical, some are lateral. You can take these zip lines on from any angle, going up, going down, ascending, descending. You can also use your abilities from these zip lines. You can also fire directly, and some of these zip lines will actually take you straight into a jump tower. And the character Pathfinder can actually create his own zip lines. Both your allies and your enemies can use it, but it's a great way to reach difficult areas that are otherwise inaccessible. And another way to get around the field is through these wormholes. Each of the map has its own unique wormhole that will take you from one end of the field to the other, and some of them actually upon exiting will jettison you into the sky again, giving you a little bit more mobility. And then you have the character Wraith, who can actually place her own wormholes again for your teammates if you want to just make up some distance between you on the map. Or you can actually use these as well if you want to set up a trap for an enemy. Oftentimes they'll follow you behind thinking they'll catch you off guard, but if you're ready and waiting for them, it's an excellent way to cut them down. Then we have our jump pads here. You can find these throughout the map as well, but Octane, the character, can make them himself for your enemies and your allies. And then Horizon has an ability, it's very similar, however this one is only a vertical lift. Last but not least, we have the car. This is only available in the newest map, however it's a very quick way to move from one end of the map to the other. And of course it has room for both of your squad mates, so you can roll up next to them, everybody jumps in and you can skedaddle to another part of the map. Tracking the enemy. There are two characters that are exceptionally suited for this task. The first one being Bloodhound. He has an ability that will highlight enemies for you and your allies through obstructions, including walls. Now oftentimes you'll have an enemy that's clearly visible on your screen. It's still important to mark them or ping them however you can, just because you want your teammates to be aware of what's going on, gives them a heads up and helps them assist you in combat. And the second recon character is Krypto. He actually has a drone that he can send out and maneuver completely on its own. You can use this in multiple ways. You can set it up as a security camera if you want to surveil just one area. You can use it to track in any traps. You can see if they've opened any kind of loot boxes. And then when you track an enemy, it highlights it for your entire squad as well. And his drone has quite a few different abilities, but as you can see there on the side, when it shows the banner, it actually shows you how many enemy squads are near you as well. And here you'll see that they can hack into survey beacons. There's 3 characters that can do this: Bloodhound, Krypto, and Pathfinder. And what this does is it highlights the next ring's location on your map. Krypto can actually do this remotely through his drone. And And even if you don't choose a Krypto or a Bloodhound, you can benefit from them being on your team. Oftentimes, however, you won't have a recon character inside your group, but there's other ways of tracking the enemy's movements. One of those ways is by observing enemies firing upon another squad. Now, I would suggest not attacking until you're close enough to actually take down a target, because then you have the element of surprise, and oftentimes you can take down multiple parties at once. Now, of course, it's beneficial to have a character that can get in and out of combat situations quickly, and you also want to make it difficult for your enemies to be able to track you. Not staying in one position for too long is a great way to do that, and if you can move behind the scenes without them seeing you, it's easy for them to lose track of where you are. Another way of avoiding being tracked is to not be caught in the open. While it's a great way to ambush your enemies if you catch them around loot boxes or even Loba's black market, it's not smart to be caught out there in the field on your own. And the most effective way to remain hidden is by knowing your enemy's limitations. They may have a Bloodhound or a Krypto, but even their abilities have their own weaknesses, whether it's range or just sounds that give away their position when they're trying to track you. Thank you everybody for checking out the video. Gonna have a few more coming out soon, showcasing some of the different legends and their abilities, showing a little bit more about the map layouts, and then some tricks and tips that's gonna help increase your survivability.